Welcome to your daily writing habit, episode number 731. If you are writing a book or thinking about it, or maybe you've started writing your book but you need some help getting it done, you are in the right place. Good morning, everyone. Happy Friday. I'm your host, Christine Whitmarsh. If you're looking for me online, look for Christine Inc., like that stuff we write with. Each day I'm sharing with you the writing habits I've learned over my 19 years as a ghostwriter, book coach, and author. I have found that three things in particular have a huge impact on your success as an author, and they can turn a quote-unquote non-author into a published one. Those three things and my three pillars here on the show are writing fundamentals, productivity, and mindset habits. Here's today's quote. Stories are our primary tools of learning and teaching, the repositories of our lore and legends. They bring order into our confusing world. Think about how many times a day you use stories to pass along data, insights, memories, or common sense advice. Edward Miller. And once again, good morning, everyone. Happy Friday. It is Friday Facts Day, where each Friday I offer up a fact about something relevant to us as authors or books or writing or anything to do with that whole space we occupy as authors. And then I discuss how it applies to your writing. So here's today's Friday fact. Stories that use sensory details engage more parts of the brain than facts, ironically enough. And this is from an article on it's a blog called Story to Blog. And the article name is 8 Facts About the Neuroscience of Storytelling. And as always, I will put the link to that article in the show notes. And here's how to apply this fact to your writing. Now, this doesn't necessarily have to be an either or situation, either writing a sensory scene or just writing all multi-sensory types of writing, or sharing facts and information and knowledge and lessons and ideas with your readers. No, because one way to hit the best of both worlds in nonfiction writing is to tell a story and then share the fact. And I strongly recommend it in that order too. Get your readers' attention with a story or even a brief anecdotal blurb, some form of storytelling, and then present the fact. And there are many ways to tell a story too. By the way, when we talk about story, it's a pretty broad term. It can be a personal story from your life or an observation you've made or a story about others you've come across on the internet, a popular historical story. There's just a lot of different ways to tell stories. It's something that involves a person, a problem, and actions taken to resolve the problem. That's the typical form of story. It's kind of like the 3-act structure. So just kind of think about that. You know, a person, there always has to be a human being in the middle of a story. So a person, a problem they have, and the actions taken to resolve that problem. And like today's fact revealed, sensory details to bring the story to life. And I thought of an example I can share with you. I made this up. Let's say you are writing a nonfiction book about, surprise, surprise, setting habits. And the point you want to make is that stacking a new habit with an existing one is more effective than just trying to add a new habit to a random part of your day. So for me, like the habits that I stack together are reading and gratitude journaling. Those they go together for me. So when I forget which one I think reading probably came first, and I wanted to add gratitude journaling as a daily habit to my day. So I went and stacked it with reading, and it worked perfectly. So to teach someone how to do this, to talk about habit stacking, you might tell a story about the frustration of trying to set an early morning exercise routine habit. You might, for your reader, paint the mental picture of your alarm going off in the dark day after day, the heaviness of exhaustion covering you like one of those weighted blankets, the depressing darkness of pre-dawn outside your bedroom window, the sound of your significant other snoring peacefully in the bed next to you, the weight of the family dog keeping your feet warm, and so on. Bottom line, the absolute last thing you wanted to do is get up and get your workout clothes on and go for a run. It was so comfortable in that bed. So that's a story. And from there, you might talk about the day, and specificity here is key, creating an exact aha moment versus a general realization. So maybe the next story is the day when you looked at your schedule and saw that at maybe around 4 o'clock most days, you tend to have a high level of energy. But productivity-wise, there wasn't much happening between now and dinner, so why not stack an exercise habit before dinner? since you know you're going to eat dinner every night, that's hopefully you do. So that's an existing habit. So you realize like, wow, this is an opportunity to stack exercise with dinner. So this is obviously an oversimplified example of habit stacking and storytelling, but hopefully you get the point about how to take today's fact that the human brain is more stimulated by sensory details than by simple facts and make it a priority in your writing. So make it a priority to add stories with sensory details. And a hint, do this more often than you think you need to, especially in your first draft. You can always tighten up and remove stories later, especially if you go too crazy with the stories and all the details. That's what editing is for. So go crazy with the stories and all the sensory details in that first draft, because I can almost guarantee, fellow nonfiction authors, that your book needs more stories, and your stories need more sensory details to put readers in the room with you, so to speak. So I can almost guarantee you don't have enough stories and you're not being sensory enough. Just taking a shot, taking a guess here about your writing, because that seems to be the majority in the manuscripts that I see. So more stories, more sensory details. And once again, make sure and check the show notes for a link to the complete article on this, as well as a link to my Inc. Authors group on Facebook, so you can let us know how we can support your writing goals. Thank you for joining me here on Your Daily Writing Habit, where I am helping you write and finish writing an awesome book. Until tomorrow, happy writing.